In this video I'm going to be showing where it is that we're moving to. I haven't actually seen the house, just kind of going by what I've been told and what I can see on the maps. And I'm going to do a little bit of reminiscing about this area. And I'm going to check out what U-Haul has to offer as far as options go for different vehicle types and what qualifications you have to actually drive these beasts. I got one final look at this huge bloody humongous weather system coming through here. It's kind of gradually moving away from us. I'm looking outside and it's still really super light snow, so it's pretty much done for us. But all the warnings that were off to the left here in Michigan are now gone, and everything's just kind of with the actual system itself. Take a quick look. There's a lot of moisture in this thing. It's just huge. I think it's probably the largest storm I've seen in a long time. It covers a lot of ground. It's kind of funny though, because it's only, well, for the most part, it's only over land. There's very little of it that's actually out in the ocean. It's kind of interesting, and I'm really glad it missed us. We got, looking out the window right now, maybe a couple inches, not much at all. And for the most part, that was before this actual storm got here. That was from the cold front that came through. We got those really weird streaks again. Snow squalls up there and down here. Just a little bit off of our lake. Nothing major. So what I'm going to show here is we still aren't able to find a place to move to here in Hanover. Prices here are absolutely ridiculous. We're paying $800 a month where we're at right now, and anywhere else around here it's about double. Even the real estate agents here in town are amazed at the prices that people charge for renting. So we did find one that was sort of kind of nice right about in here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll highlight it right there. It was $1,200 a month, I think, and it actually looked kind of promising. And all of a sudden the landlord decided she was going to sell it because she found a place in Collingwood, so she decided that she was going to move up there. And Collingwood is, if I remember correctly, up in this area here somewhere. Nothing's going to show up. Okay. Not a real big place, so this particular, in Google Earth or something would probably show up, but I'm using Wundermap here. That's just the easiest one for me to access. So we did find a place that looks like will be the place we're moving to. It is in Wingham. As you can see, that's Wingham there. Okay, so Wingham is right here. Oh, okay. And Hanover's right here. So it's about 60 kilometers away. I don't really want to leave Hanover. I love Hanover. Excuse me. It's the first place I've actually been that I felt safe. But we can't find a place we can afford, and we gotta do what we gotta do. So we did find a place here in Wingham. I'm not going to show you exactly where it is. I want to kind of keep it private, at least for now anyways. But I do have a few concerns. I don't want to move there. I'm not against it. I know nothing about Wingham, really. I've driven through it many times, that's about it. Yeah. When I first moved up into this area, I'll show that real quick here. Where is it here? Is it 4? Yeah, I think it's 4. Station Road, I can't. 2. This is really difficult. The printing is so tiny, I can barely see it even with my bifocals. Okay, I am looking for, there's 12, 14, and one more, 15. I think that's the one. I'm looking for a road that looks like a C-clamp. What is that right there? That's Walkerton. Okay, so it's further north than that. I guess I didn't read. 20, that's the road I'm looking for. Okay, 4 becomes 20, so that'll be the Kincardine Highway, number 9. Alright. So there's 2. Wow, that's hard to read. Six. I didn't think it was that far up. I guess that's it, 15. Yeah, there's the C-clamp right there, Pinkerton. Okay, so I lived right about here. Yeah, there's the gravel pit. Okay, so I lived here. Wherever. There's the house up on the hill. Really, really steep hill coming up the driveway here. So I moved up into this area. That's the first place I lived, that little house right there. And it was kind of cool. It was so quiet. You walked out on the outside in the middle of the night, and the neighbors way down here, you could actually hear them talking in normal voices. It's so quiet out there. And at night, there's no noise whatsoever. Your ears actually ring. It's so quiet. And then standing up on the hill, you can see everywhere around. You can see the lights from Southampton, whatever this, Port Elgin, whatever this other place down here is, Godrich I think it is. You can see all the lights in the air in different places. It was really, really, really something. Oops. That was when I first moved up here. So, of course, now I zoomed out the moon. Map changed places, so you'll find 20 again. Okay. But when I go to see my parents, I take 20, which turns into 4, down into Wingham. Would you stop? And then I turn on to 86, and 86 takes me down into Kitchener. So I drove through here quite a bit, but that's really all I know about Wingham, just driving through it. And I know that this is the Tim Hortons from doing that. And it's not labeled on here, but on Google Earth it does show this is actually Tim Hortons. So, at least, you know, I got a place to get my coffee. And it's not actually far. Smokey, stop! Every time I talk, he goes nuts. However, the nice thing about it, this river and everything that's coming through here, there's all kinds of trails. So there's all kinds of nature areas around here, lots of places to explore. So I'm kind of curious and see what that's going to be like. The actual house itself isn't bad. There's a garage in the back, it's not attached to the house, and the open end of the garage points towards the street behind us, so we can't actually see the entrance of the garage. I'm not happy about that. On one side of the house, there's an apartment building beside us, and our house is about 2 feet away from it. That really bothers me. Then when it comes to apartment buildings and that, fire is one of my biggest concerns. It's bad enough where I'm living right here. The house beside me is about 20 feet away, if that. And it's like we're both 2-story houses, so you know, if there's any good fire or whatever, one of the houses is going to be affected by the other, by exposure for sure. But 2 feet away, that's kind of scary. There's enough room to walk between them, and that's about it. The other side of the house, there's another house beside it. It's not any good distance away either. but it's still really, it's pretty close. So, well, my biggest concern there with the actual location is the garage, not being able to see what's going on. So, but other than that, I don't know as far as crime rate. We were looking at a place in Durham. It's close to Hanover. It's like a 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive, something like that. Let me just look again here. Back up to Hanover. Okay, here's Hanover. There's Durham right there. Problem with Durham is it's so small. There's like practically nothing there. That's as far as, shopping places. There's a Tim Hortons. I don't think there's a dollar store. There's no big shopping centers like a Walmart type place or anything like that. So we would have to get rides to go anywhere when we needed something. But I'm not sure how many. There's nature places. There's one down in this area down here, I think. And there's just one up here, and this one here. I'm recording this beforehand, so I don't know if my footsteps through time series has started yet or not. But I guess even if it has, I wouldn't have got to this part yet. But when I show the boys in the water, there's like waterfalls and that they're walking through. This is the area right here. This was in Durham. And I can't think of the name. It's a dam, but it's got a name. It's kind of a natural area. The rocks are natural. It's not man-made or anything. The dam itself is, but it's kind of built around these rocks. And there's caves carved out in the little mini mountains, I guess you call them. I'm not even sure what kind of rock it is. They're kind of layered and flat, if that means anything. But this is such a beautiful area in the summertime. And you can actually, stand underneath the waterfall coming off the dam. It's kind of neat. Then on the other side of the river here, this is a campground. It's a paid campground. So it's not like you can, to kind of go in there. That kind of stinks. But there are other places in town. Over here, this is a park, public park. And this is a dock here. Another place where I got pictures of the boys jumping off the dock into the water. That was a little more fun. Like they like the waterfalls and that. It's really cool, but you can't really swim there. It's more, you sit in the water or stand under the waterfall or wade through the water or whatever. But you can't really swim there because the water's not deep enough. But this place is good for that because there's another dam here, bigger dam, and I believe this one's 100% man-made. But park here, and I'm looking here. I see trails. I did not know they were there. And I don't know if that's part of the campground or not. It could be. There's the entrance. I'm not 100% sure. But years ago when Ontario had its biggest tornado outbreak, I think it was 18 tornadoes in one day. Durham had a tornado come through south into town, I believe here, kind of traveled in this direction, and it hit the trailer park, and the only death that occurred that day was in this park. And it was a 12-year-old boy. He was killed by flying debris, which is really sad. So we hadn't been back to this place since. Not really because of that, it's just that makes me think it was 2010. Because 2011 is when I lost my car, so that's probably why we never made it back. But 2010, it was, I think it was August 17th, 18th, or 19th, one of those 3 days. So swimming season was pretty much done anyways. So I think we just haven't been back there since. So anyways, I got a little bit off track here. So I didn't want to live in Durham because there's just nothing there. And the other option we had was Owen Sound. Owen Sound is quite large. There's all kinds of shopping opportunities there. Where are we here? This looks like the hospital. No, I think there's the hospital right there. So if that's the hospital, then this will be Walmart here. And this is Home Depot, I believe. And you go to the other end of town, up on the hill here. I'm not sure exactly where. Somewhere in here is my favorite store, Staples. Dangerous store that is. I can spend so much money in there. Oh. Spring Mountain Forest Bruce Trail. I did not know that was there. But one thing I do like, I was actually looking forward to if we did move to Owen Sound, is they have a very large park here. This is Harrison Park. I think this is it here. Yeah, there's the turn. So this will be Harrison Park down in here. I got pictures of exotic birds. This is where those pictures came from. And we go out of town. Up to here. This is Inglis Falls. This is really scary. It's all mountainous in through here, and it's just a huge drop. Really, really beautiful waterfall in here. I got pictures of that. And this is all trails in through here, Bruce Trail. This part I knew about, how far it goes and where it goes to. It looks like there's actually quite a bit in here. I'm not sure what you can see on your screen because these lines are very faint and very tiny. But Pine Loop Trail. That one's labeled. The other ones don't seem to be labeled. It looks like there's quite a few in there. I was actually looking forward to that because I've only ever been here by car. I think that'd be kind of cool to take the monster in through here. It'd be pretty sweet. But there's a bridge here. It's a steel bridge, and the floor of this bridge is a steel grate. So you're right above the falls and the water. There's a dam right here, and there's so much water that comes through here. When it goes over this dam, it just rushes really fast underneath this bridge and then drops off the mountain. And you're standing on this grate, and you can see the water under your feet. It gives you a really, really freaky feeling. So, but anyway, I was liking the looks of that. But the thing I don't like about Owen Sound is the crime rate there is not nice. And that would be the only thing I would not like about it. But I can't see anything on here. But I believe I saw it originally. This might be it here. There is a conservation area here. That might even be it, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Looks like a big rooster. But I did see it on the map. I'm pretty sure it was northeast. But there's all kinds of forested areas here. And I'm not seeing... That looks like a trail there. So one of these rivers, I'm pretty sure it's this one. Right here, I think, is where the trail starts. And it kind of follows along this river. You can almost see this line in the trees here. I wonder if it used to be train tracks. So this could be a rail trail. I don't know. I just don't know. This is there's a trail here. I saw this one earlier. This one looks like it used to be train tracks. It's pretty straight. Yeah, because you can see where it kind of curves and goes down here. So that's definitely, if it is a rail trail, that's what that would be. But it don't seem to be too used right now. It almost looks like this part was just pasted onto the map. That's kind of interesting. And this road here, oddly enough, is called Diagonal Road. Couldn't imagine why. But I don't know. I did have a bit of a concern at first, because there's quite a few, looks like quite a few rivers that come together here. But one of these rivers is the Maitland River, the one that flooded Harriston. It made all the news. It comes through here, but apparently, Wingham didn't receive any major flooding, so that's good news, because we don't expect to see that kind of flooding very often. It was a 100-year flood, supposedly, so the next time it happens, I will probably not be alive. So that's the plan. That seems to be where we will be moving to. That's kind of interesting. That actually looks like poultry barns. But they had this big area here. Is that? Okay, I thought that was a trail. There's no trail marker there. Yeah, right across the field. So that's a big wooded area. That might be... excuse me. And that might even be part of... I don't know. There's no labels on this map. But I remember when we were first looking at Wingham, I decided to check to see what was there as far as nature goes. And there was something there. It was actually labeled as a conservation area, so I have to keep my eyes open for that. So the next big issue is getting there. We don't have a vehicle anymore. My roommate's friend came up and took her down there to look at the place, and well, basically if we can come up with first and last month's rent by the end of this month, the place is ours, which is kind of cool. And they were there. Holy smokes. And they were there for about 3 hours talking, and the landlord's talking like we've already got the place, more or less. Because they're talking about, they need to put grab bars in the washroom for her, and this and that. So it's, there's other people that are looking at it. She said, if we come up with the money, the place is ours. So that's kind of cool. So it's pretty much, I guess, a guarantee. So we're just trying to figure out how we're going to get there now. What I had planned on doing when we move here is I was counting on finding another place in town here, and I was going to move all the small stuff with the scooter. I'm hoping to have the monster fixed by that time. I don't know. Everybody seems to be dragging their feet on the issue, so I'm not sure we're going to make it in time. But I was going to use one or both of the scooters with one or both of the trailers to move all the small stuff. And then at the end, I get myself a U-Haul truck and take all the big stuff in one trip. Well, that's not going to happen now. So, we don't have a choice. We have to get the truck now. So I'm looking at the U-Haul trucks, and this is the one we're looking at, a 26-footer, which is really big. I've rented a cube van before, but it was not anywhere near this size, so this will be the biggest vehicle I've ever driven, if that's what we end up going with. So, looking at the details on this truck is designed for bigger families moving both in town and one way. Generally choose 26-foot moving truck rentals, as they are perfect for 4+ bedroom moves. Yeah, not ours. We are not a typical place here. We got a lot of stuff. So you can rent the Super Mover moving truck with your valid driver's license. No commercial driver's license required, which is cool, because these trucks are not considered commercial vehicles. You don't need a special license for them. That was my biggest concern. The truck this size, I figured you needed at least a D license, so that's good. We don't need that. Now, there's a few issues I have with this. First of all, they have two modes here. They have in-town rentals, where you rent the truck, you move your stuff, and then you take it back to where you got it from. And then they have the long-distance one-way moves, which is you rent a truck from your nearest dealer, you move to where you're going, and then you drop it off at the nearest one to wherever it is you're at. That's how U-Haul works. You don't have to return it to the same place you rented it from, and that's such a cool. Whoever came up with this idea is really brainy. Had a really good idea. So it kind of saves you, from bringing it back to where you got it from and paying the extra mileage and extra gas and finding another ride back to where you moved to. So, what else we got here? Okay, it just describes the truck. Now, this is a bit of an issue for me here. Loading ramp width, 2 feet 7 inches. I'm not sure if the monster would fit on that. It's kind of scary thinking. Yeah, here we get into the issues that are concerning me. Miles per gallon, 10 miles per gallon. So it's a gas sucker. We are going, I think our trip is 60 kilometers. Now, the issue is we are not going to be able to do this in one trip. We are going to need to do at least 2 trips with it. It only holds 3 adults or 3 passengers. We have 4 plus 2 pets. So the math doesn't work on that. Oh, excuse me. So anyways, we got 60 kilometers approximately. I'll have to look at it to figure it out exactly. So we gotta drive there, drive back for the second load, drive there, and then drop the truck off there. So we gotta do the trip 3 times. When you do the one-way move, they have a certain number of kilometers that are included in whatever the package is. So it's going to cost us extra, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Okay, so that's that. So we're going to do the frequently asked questions here, and oh crap, I forgot I moved the page. I had all these open, all the ones that applied, so I could just go through them a little quicker. Okay, with driver's license here. U-Haul trucks are not considered commercial vehicles. U-Haul requires our customers to be 16 years of age to rent our trailers and 18 years of age to rent our trucks with a government-issued driver's license. So no problems there. I think that one. Yeah, in town move rates include a set amount for the rental period plus a per mile charge. One-way move rates are determined by a combination of truck size, point of origin, destination, and the date of the move. Price includes an allowed mileage and a set number of days to complete your move. So the day isn't any big deal. It's just that allowed mileage is going to be a problem. And I don't know where I saw it. Somewhere on here it said Sunday to Thursday is the cheapest rates. So I guess if you're moving on a weekend when you have to move, they charge you more. So I see that as price gouging. I'm not sure where I read that, but it's on here somewhere. Purchase additional miles. I'm not sure if it was, 40 cents per mile. So, we have 60 kilometers. I'm not sure what 40 miles. That's probably close to 60 kilometers. I don't even know where I got the 40 miles from. That's 40 cents per mile. So we got 60 kilometers one way. That's probably included. Then we got to come back and do it again. So all those extra miles there, it's like 40 cents per mile. That racks up really, really quickly. And we get into another one of my concerns here. Making a reservation online requires a credit card, but you're not required to use a credit card when paying for your rental. It's cheaper for me to rent a car when I need one than it is to actually own one. That's what I've been doing. But the rental place here in town, when you rent the vehicle, they reserve $1,000 on your credit card. You don't actually get charged it, it's just reserved. So it's kind of putting the $1,000 on hold. It's not charged to your card, there's just that much money that you can't actually use because it's reserved. And when you bring the vehicle back, it's like a security deposit. So when you bring the vehicle back, that $1,000 is released, and then they charge whatever your rental fees and everything are, assuming we haven't damaged the car any. So U-Haul does the same thing. Somewhere on here, do I have to pay a deposit? I had all this prepared already too. Why is there a hold on my credit card? Okay, here it is. The hold amount will be released in 3 to 5 days, depending on your financial institution. You may check with your credit card. Somewhere here. Here it is. Your credit card is being authorized for X amount of dollars. Available funds on your credit card or bank account will be reduced by this amount. Actual charges to your credit card will be determined when you return the equipment. Now here's the big issue. X amount of dollars. How much? Now for renting a car, it was $1,000. So renting this big beast of a truck, I don't know what it's going to be. The problem being right now is none of my credit cards have that much credit available. So that's going to be an issue. Somewhere on here, I think it was back up. Debit card. You can use a debit card if it has the Visa or MasterCard logo on it. So if it's a Visa debit or a MasterCard debit, then I'm assuming you can use your bank account instead of the credit card, but same issue. I never have that much cash. I think that's how much I get paid per month basically, so either way it's just not gonna work for me. I think there was one more. Oh yeah, discounted rates I think I was looking at. They have special rates for customers who can pick up and return at the same location. I don't know if that applies to one-way distant moves, I don't know. So basically, I'm going to have to call and ask a whole bunch of questions. And there is one more thing that I don't see mentioned on here, and that is insurance. When I rent the car, I can't remember, it's just like $59 a day or something, and then the insurance is an extra $14.95. So of course on here they have their insurance, but there's different coverages. Damage waiver, this would be the one that I would be going with. And there's cargo coverage, medical and life coverage, and same thing here, just at a different level, plus they got another supplemental liability. So it's just nowhere on here do they mention how much it is. So I'm guessing everything here is just basically generalized. So, until you pick specific services, specific vehicle, and, just basically what it is you want, then they can't really give you an amount, I guess. So you just kind of have to wait till you see the whole package, and then you get a final. So I gotta call and find out, inquire about this to see just how much, because this is gonna be very, very costly for us for sure. But we don't have any other way to do it. It's kind of cool that this is available. I'm a little bit worried because March 1st is when we have to be out of the house, and this time of year we can get any kind of weather at all. I mean, anywhere from nice warm sunny day to freezing rain, blizzard, tornado. We can get this time of year. We can get anything at all, absolutely anything. So we just don't know what's going to happen, and I'm not comfortable really driving anymore. And just driving other people's vehicles makes me nervous to begin with. But driving a big beast like this, I was in my 20s last time I drove a cube van, so it's been a while. And I just don't know what to expect. So I just kind of see what's going on. Yeah, not going to be fun for sure. A lot of things are going to be on hold. I'm going to try to make a whole bunch of videos ahead of time and just upload everything and just schedule them to be released at certain times, just so that my content doesn't really have a huge gap in it, because I'm so behind in everything already. I don't want to make it that much worse. So if I get everything ahead of time, which is going to be difficult anyways because we got so much work to do here to prepare. My bedroom is a disaster. I've already started going through things. The problem is, even when I change my room around when I have to move, or every once in a while I'll clean my room, but the only way I can really do that is to move things around, and in order to move things around I have to take things out to make space to move things around, because my bedroom here is really small and I've got so much in here. Most of my life is in this room. So it's really, lacking in space. I did some organization. I packed some things up that I obviously won't be using until spring. So that's all good, but the problem remains. I got nowhere to really put it while I go through everything else. So I got to decide what kind of furniture I'm keeping. Apparently the house we're moving into, the room doesn't really sound like it's any different. It's square. And looking at my room here, I guess this one's kind of square too. But I've got kind of a half ceiling. The roof comes down about halfway across my ceiling, so I got half the ceiling's horizontal and the other half is kind of diagonal downward, so can't really use a whole lot on that far wall. I can't even stand over there without hitting my head on the ceiling. So the new place, at least it's all the way up on all four sides, but I don't have any storage space here, and it doesn't sound like I'm gonna have any there. So anytime I do a face video, I usually do it outside because you don't get to see the mess that's in here. And I really can't clean the mess up because I got nowhere to put anything. So I'm having the same issue in the basement right now. There's so much junk down there. And I had it more or less organized at one point in time. And then when we lost the garage, everything that was in the garage had to come into the basement. So it got overwhelming. And there's a path to everything. Also, I get piles of stuff everywhere, and there's a path going through each little area so I can access both sides, and it's going to be a nightmare cleaning all that up. We just don't have anywhere to put anything while we do other stuff. That's not just me. Like, everybody's facing that right now. So that kind of give you an idea right there, that we're not going to be able to make this move in one trip. I'm hoping only two. I don't want to drive this thing, more than 3 times. Straight there, straight back, and straight there again, and that's gonna wear me out. I don't know. When I drove the cube van before, it never had anything in it. It was empty the whole time. So I don't know what it's gonna be like driving a full vehicle with all the extra weight. It'll be a new experience for me. I'm just hoping the roads are nice. I don't care if it's warm or cold, as long as the roads are clear, not slippery or anything. That'll make a big difference. So that's what I'm facing. That's what I'm up against. So hopefully all goes good. Don't know what to expect, but we'll find out when the time comes. Another issue that I haven't really talked about is the weather. In Hanover we got right here, and Wingham is right here. We're now closer to the lake. We're right dead square in the snow squall zone, the snow belt they call it. So right now the wind's coming from the north, so the squalls are kind of off, but normally when they come in on this kind of an angle like this, and they're almost always, when they're lower than us, they're always coming in through this area, so it's going to be interesting. One advantage is our lot is pretty small, so that's nice, less maintenance. I'm not sure, I wasn't there, I didn't go with them when they went to look at the house. I didn't know they were leaving, so I missed the opportunity. At the front of the house there's steps, a bit of a sidewalk out to the actual sidewalk, so I'd have to keep that clear for the mailman. But as far as the back going out to the garage, I'm not sure what that looks like. So as far as snow shoveling goes, which is kind of a scary thought in that particular spot, don't know what to expect there. But at least I got my electric blower, and that's another question. I don't know if the garage has electricity or not. I might have to run a cord out to it so we can plug the scooters in to charge them. I just don't know yet at this point. So I'll keep you updated. You know what's going on once I know what's going on. So for now, our big storm's moving away. Bye bye. Don't come back. It still amazes me how big that is. It's actually smaller now than what it was. So that's my update.